I know we've had more and more people join us more recently as well, and even for those of you that have been with us for a while, it's just good to remind you sometimes of how the logistics work, if you want, because it can be a bit confusing. We just saw a beautiful leopard jump out of the tree, and now we're standing a little bit away. Basically how it works in Sabi Sands in general, and I'll explain it more specifically to how it works with us, is that one of the great joys of this area is the exclusivity of experiencing the animals. And I don't just mean that in an exclusive sort of it's mine only way. I mean it in the sense of there's never many vehicles around around the animals, and that allows the animals to really become very habituated. Even though they can do the same if there's lots of vehicles, but they learn that there's never vehicle pressure around them. So for a leopard busy feeding or busy hunting, or a herd of elephants busy doing their thing around a warthole, they've learned over time that there's never lots of vehicles that bug them. So because of that, there is a total acceptance or almost a total ignoring of vehicles by animals, and they continue with normal behavior. How it works for us is typically there can only be 2 vehicles at a sighting. So let's say someone from Juma is there already, and there's no one else close by, then we can join them. Or if there is 2 vehicles from Juma already, then we won't join as a 3rd vehicle. So that's the reason why, like I said, there was a bit of a mix-up with the radio. On the radio they said only 1 vehicle. It's not a big problem, but it's just part of how we work and how we respect the logistical rules, if you want, for lack of a better word. So sometimes we'll wait for a little while, or as you heard I'll say, we'll stand by a little bit, or we'll wait for a gap, and all that does is it just regulates how the vehicles move around the animals, and ultimately it allows everyone better viewing, and also it shows a great deal of respect towards the animal, which is also an important aspect of it. So that's the one part. The other part, maybe again for some of you, I spoke about the lions this morning roaring further north. Again, we only drive a certain area, even though there's no boundaries, physical boundaries for the animals. Ecologically, this is all open. We're part of Kruger and Mozambique even. We're talking about 4 million plus hectares. That's about, I don't even know what that is. It's about 13 million acres. It's a very large part that we're part of as an ecological system, but we only drive within a certain area. We're limited by 2 things. One is by signal range, so that I can be able to stand here and talk to you, and you can hear what we're talking about out in the middle of Africa. And the second is, again, just depending on where those areas are, who the land belongs to. We're in private land areas, so there's certain traversing agreements as well. So that is also why sometimes we might hear lions or even see a leopard crossing a certain road, but he might be crossing into a different area, and then that is not within where we can drive. So just to explain a little bit how it works, there's one vehicle coming out. We're going to try and get in there and see